Hello, all. My name is Jeff, and I'm here today to do a mock session. Again, the thing I'm doing is a mock session. This is not a real interview. It's not a real session. And my volunteer is outside right now. She doesn't know that my session will be of the general act of redemption, and it is from the very last chapter of the textbook, the McMinn textbook. So. It is about the psychological and spiritual health of one individual, and I'm going to play along, but my questions are going to be structured based on the general act of redemption, how God plays um, uh, plays a part in one's psychological and spiritual health. So, yes, I'm going to call her in. Again, this is a mock session. This is not a real counseling session. Thank you.
Andy.
That's 11. Yes, I'm here with my volunteer. Her name is Angelique. And again, my name is Jeff, and this is for um, this interview is about spirituality, theology, and psychology. So, uh, so good evening, Miss Angelique. What brings you here today?
Well, I wanted to talk about my marriage and
Okay.
the religion that he and I both are a part of.
Okay. So,
Well, I met him when I was young, 17. He was also 17. His religion is the Church of Jesus Christ.
okay.
So LDS Mormon.
LDS, a Mormon.
Yeah, another type of Mormon.
Yeah.
And I was bred a Catholic. I
Okay.
grew up at the Catholic Church. And the relationship part, everything is fine.
Mm-hmm.
We have our ups and downs, but what relationship doesn't? But he is very involved with his church.
Okay.
And he wants me to be as involved as he is.
Okay.
But the problem is, I'm willing to do that just as long as I get like the same back with my religion.
Okay.
Going to church in the holidays, not always his church and him. So that kind of a relationship, it's causing a lot of issues.
A lot of issues. Okay.
Yes. And
is the issues more on a family or more on the religious part?
The religious part is not
the relationship
causing us to have a family because we don't know which religion our child is going to raise in.
But aren't you supposed to be a Mormon before you marry another Mormon?
You don't have to.
Okay.
But I did get married young.
Okay. So
because that's his religion.
Right,
get married
right,
at 17,
yes.
and we did get married at 17. So we've been married for about 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fine until, we wanted to start a family, but then we don't know the religion.
That's right. So obviously this religion, the religion is causing you psychological, emotional, or some kind of...
It's more psychological and emotional because how I feel for him is starting to change, and that's scaring me because I don't want to divorce this man. It's against my religion.
So it's affecting your relationship.
It is.
Let's rate it from 1 to 10. 10 as, this is a serious problem. And and 1, well, we can talk about it. I don't really care. So from 1 to 10,
I would say we're around a 6, 7 right now.
Okay, so a little high.
Yeah.
A little high, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So religion does play a major part when it comes to your stress,
yes,
your psychological health.
Mm-hmm.
Say we put aside the religion.
Okay.
Let me ask you first, are you spiritual or religious in nature?
I wouldn't say that I'm religious because
Okay.
I don't go to church as often as I should. I mostly go to his church, but I still believe in Catholicism. It's what I know. It's what I grew up with.
Right.
But then I'm trying to integrate his religion into my religion as well, and it's just causing a lot of anxiety and confusion, and I don't know where to belong.
So are you spiritual or religion?
spiritual, I
Okay.
would say. Right at this point, spiritual, because I have two religions that
Okay.
I'm trying to be a part of.
Well, when we say spiritual, how would you
I do believe
define
that there is a higher being out
Okay.
there.
So
Yeah,
okay.
I believe in that.
So
I believe there
so
is
you're-
something out there.
Okay.
But it's not to the point where, like him, where it's just all about God.
Like methodical.
Yes, it's like
ritualistic.
that all the
Okay.
time.
Okay. And that seems to be causing the friction.
Yes.
Okay. So say, okay, since you established that you are spiritual, is your husband spiritual by any chance?
No.
When you say he's not a spiritual, but
what I believe is that there's something there's a difference for me between being spiritual and being religious. He is religious to the core.
Okay.
Me, I believe that things happen for a reason, not somebody is making it happen for you. It just happens, and you just have to have faith that everything is going to be fine.
Okay.
But him, it's because you don't believe in this, that's why this is happening in our lives, and it's just.
But you love your husband.
I do.
Okay.
I do love him.
So there you can compromise.
I tried.
Okay.
But it's just becoming a little bit unfair.
Okay.
Because he's not compromising with me.
Okay.
I thought that he was, but now I'm finding that we're more involved in his church than we are in mine. Like, we don't even go to Easter Sundays at our church anymore. Instead of, we go to Christmas at your church and then we do Easter in mine. So that's compromise for me. But now it's just all the time. His church, every Sunday, every women's group, all the time. All the time.
Have you talked to him about what you're feeling?
Yes. But
including the challenges?
Well, the challenges, he doesn't understand why it's challenging for me, because he said I married into the church, so I should.
Okay.
But I tell him that I grew up Catholic, and that's still in my system. That's still in my blood.
How important is religion to you?
When I was young, it was very important because of my family.
Okay.
I tried to incorporate that. I want to incorporate that with my own children. Okay. But at this point, we don't even know. I don't even know what religion my child is going to be.
Okay. So, does your husband know that you are seeing me?
No.
Okay. So you come in here voluntarily.
Yes.
And seeking advice.
Yes.
Seeking an option. Do you allow yourself? Will you talk to your husband?
I will.
Yeah.
I want to sit him down.
Yes, because
is it better to bring him in with me?
First, you guys are husband and wife.
Right.
Okay. Communication is a huge part.
Right.
Okay, and honesty, and commitment. So that's all sacred. You took the vow.
I did.
Okay, so I guess it's fair for you to bring him along with you. Maybe have one session and see where are you guys at. Do you think will he allow to that proposition?
When I do tell him and express to him how this is really affecting how I think and how I feel, I know that he would be more understanding and more willing to come and talk to you about this.
Okay.
To see if.
So how important is psychological health? Your state of mind.
For me, it's very important.
It's very important
because it's how I get through the day.
Yes, that's right.
Healthy body, healthy mind.
That's right. Now, how important is spirituality to you?
Spirituality, I feel it could be more important.
Okay.
But with the rift that's happening between me and my husband because of our religions, it's becoming less and less important.
What about theological perspective, like religious? Well, how do you see that play part in your priority? How do you view religion?
Well, I know that religion is a gift.
Okay.
And I have been given that gift at a very, very young age, with going to Catholic school and all of that. And right at this point, I feel like it isn't something that I'm fully appreciating as
Okay.
much as I should anymore.
Mhm.
And that's causing me fear.
Mhm. Have you? That's why a while ago I mentioned integrating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, putting theology, spirituality, and your emotional and psychological state, in, you know, in one ball. You know,
Right.
so integrating them in one system or mindset or emotional.
I didn't know that that was possible.
It is yes. It's just a matter of understanding.
Right.
You know what God wants you to do,
Mm-hmm.
and what you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and what your spirituality or your what is your calling.
Right.
Okay, so since we have this, you know, I would so love to see you and your husband sit in one day,
Okay.
so we could both, you know, so both of you can talk it out,
Okay.
because I believe that, you know, communication is a big part of
Mhm.
this. You know, you should be talking to your husband
Mm-hmm.
what you are feeling, you know, and he is entitled to that,
Right.
and that communication is the best part. You have to open up. You have to tell him, you know, have you tell him what you know you've been going through, what you know.
I haven't. He
Okay.
just knows that I get into one of my moods,
Okay.
but I never really
Are-
expressed to him
okay.
because I'm too fearful.
Are you taking any medication? Or
No.
were you diagnosed with anything?
No.
Your husband was
No.
he diagnosed? Okay.
Mm-mm.
So no diagnosis, no medication.
No.
Okay. So any emotional, you know, disturbances, you know,
What do you mean by emotional
like
disturbance?
high end, you know, mood swings.
Oh, that's me.
Okay.
That's
So,
me.
Okay. So is it from 1 to 10? Is it bad?
Oh, it's around a 3.
It's a
and
3.
I
So
can,
it's
I
a
can
low
handle
frequency.
it. Yeah.
Okay. So
I
it's
can handle
pretty much manageable.
it. Mm-hmm.
But yes, part of that aside is probably because of what you are going through,
Right.
the struggles. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But when I say integrating, which those 3 major ideals: spirituality, theology, and psychology, your mind, your spiritual belief,
Mm-hmm.
and your religious belief. You know, I think, you know, it will work. You know, I'm not here to tell you what to do,
Right.
but I can suggest.
Right.
Okay, but since your husband is religious,
Mm-hmm.
then you know you are religious, but not to a point.
Yes.
You say you are spiritual, and that you guys love each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see why you guys can't compromise. Okay.
Okay.
So now let's go back to, you said something about was he ever physical?
No, he's
Okay.
never been a type to cause that type of pain.
Okay. Was he ever abusive?
No, he was
Okay.
never. He's a very calm.
Mm-hmm.
His demeanor is always
Okay.
calm. He's nice to everybody, which is why I'm kind of afraid also as well that since he's so religious and has so much faith in his
Mhm.
you know in his church, that this is just going to blow up, and I wouldn't know how to handle that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm kind of anxious in telling
Right.
him about this. He's never shown it before, but
Yeah.
you never know. I don't know.
Is it the religion that really is bothering you, or
It is.
will it change if he ever gives up his church for you?
I don't want to give.
Okay.
I never want him to give up his beliefs for me.
Okay.
It's like what you said. I want to integrate everything. I want him to come to my church too and experience what I'm experiencing,
Okay.
like what I've experienced in his church.
Okay.
You know, it's just I hope that he can understand that I still, and I'm hoping that our kids
Mhm.
will have that too. You know, because I've learned that if you have 2 types of religion, if a person
Mhm.
knows 2 types of religion, it opens up their mind more
That's
to
right.
you know different
Mhm.
to different things.
Mhm.
And that's what I want for my kids. So
And to put it on concept, you know, to put it on a basic commonality,
mhm,
there are intersectionalities when it comes to belief.
mhm,
You know, he believes in Jesus Christ, you believe in Jesus Christ.
Yes.
So there's already something in common,
right,
right?
right,
So it's just a matter of how you both will compromise your ideals,
Mhm.
your faith.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to compromise when it comes to God.
Yeah.
You know, there really is nothing. You know, religion is an important part of our society. You know, as far as I know, and it plays a major part on how we think and how our spirituality goes. Okay? But there is always this thing that, you know, you guys can compromise, you guys can work it out.
Right.
Okay. So for your practice, you know, when you get home, you know, the first thing you got to do for practice or homework, try, you know, talking to your husband about, you know, be accepting of what he thinks about his religion when he opens up about it. And sometimes it helps when you ask questions. Why do you think this? Why do you think that?
I never ask questions.
And it does help sometimes. Okay. And then open to a possibility when you ask a question, you know, make him more receptive, like accepting of your question. What I meant by that is when you question, do not question his faith. Okay. So you question the religion. Right. And the essence of the essence of that religion. Okay. And the main belief. Okay. This one will help you psychologically to ease up on some of the tension because it opens up your mind, you know, some way. Yeah. Okay. So there it is. It gives you a little bit more concept, and you're becoming more perceptive of his religion. Okay. And when both works, I think it will help spiritually.
Should I tell him about my religion as well?
You should.
The conception of it?
You should. Okay. And do so in a manner that you're not too insulting, or that, you know, it's not too push.
Not trying to push him into it.
Okay. Again, it's a two-way communication. Okay. He asks questions, and when he asks questions, then yes. But the main important thing is for both of you to communicate. Right. Okay. We are all, you know, you see all these people, all these churches, you know, it all funnels down into one. God has a function for each and every one of us. Right. Okay. Sometimes, you know, we have this thing that we have to do, but yet there's a divine intervention thing. Oh, no, you're not going anywhere. Yeah. Because it's a funnel effect. It's somewhat like, you know, push come to shove, we were all in it together. Okay. You're Catholic, he's Mormon. We all believe in Jesus.
Do you think that that's the reason why we're having problems getting pregnant? Because we have that rift between us still about the religion?
That's okay. Is religion affecting your affection?
Well, I mean, sometimes it's in my mind.
Okay, so
you know, and it stresses me out.
So how am I supposed to put this? But is your sex life healthy?
Yes.
Okay, so
it is.
But when it comes to conception,
we're having problems. Okay. Conceiving.
Well, for that you have to talk to your medical doctor one of these days and have a visit. Okay. I cannot, you know.
Because that's causing me a lot of stress too, because I think it's God doing this to us. Okay. Because we have these problems going on about what religion is, you know, better, what religion we should believe in. It's
so it's probably a cultural thing. So yes, so you have this thing. Like, do you think God is punishing you for doing that?
I think so.
So can you tell me what religion? What's the nationality? Are you?
Filipino.
You're Filipino. Okay,
yes.
So Filipinos. Tell me something about the Filipino culture, about, you know, how they view God.
Oh gosh,
is it more? Is God the punisher? God the lover? Or
I believe it's more he's punishing. He's more of the punisher in the Catholicism of the Philippines. Because I hear it from my mom, you know, and God is punishing me because this is happening to me.
So it's a cultural thing that you have this psyche.
Yeah, I think so. If that's what's happening, but yeah, I think that God is punishing us because we can't conceive.
What do you think?
That's.
Do you think God is a punisher?
No, because how can He do all these amazing things, and, you know, having a child is an amazing
See
thing.
how God gives us that little
the
Bit of
little
a-
voice in your head. Yeah.
It's that concept that it's that the freedom to think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a gift that
Yeah.
he allows us to have,
Mm-hmm.
and he gave us this freedom
Right.
to choose the path that we wanted to be. But yeah, so again, what is our practice?
To go home
Mhm.
and sit my husband down
Mhm.
and talk to him about how I feel and ask him questions
Mhm.
about, his religion, not what he believes in, but what his religion consists of
Okay.
and why is it important
Okay.
and who did what.
Mhm.
And then if he asks questions about my religion, then I reciprocate the same way.
That's
I
right.
answer him the same way.
So that takes care of the theology part. What about our spirituality? How can we practice it?
I have no idea.
Yeah, spirituality is just being accepting.
So I can be
No.
more accepting of his religion instead
Okay.
of always questioning.
Because spirituality, it can be anything,
Okay.
from running to reading books.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's not
Well,
spirituality.
I can do the devotionals,
There you
like
go.
the morning
Okay.
devotionals with my husband,
Okay.
because he likes doing that. I never tried it before. Maybe I
Okay.
can try it with him.
So there you go.
Okay.
And now, your psychological health. How are we? What did you learn, and how are we gonna,
I learned
help our psychological health?
that I'm making my own anxiety about.
Okay. Be mindful of your. Okay.
I'm being mindful about my anxiety.
Okay.
I know the cause of it.
Okay.
And
Let's
now
go.
by talking to you, I found a way to deal with it.
Okay.
Talk to my husband, be more open,
Yes.
communicate.
Please do. Yes. Your husband. Yes.
Yeah.
Communication is the key.
Mm-hmm.
We pray every day.
Right.
To God. That's a communication.
Right.
Okay. Communication is the key to everything.
Okay.
So, your first assignment is talk to your husband.
Mm-hmm.
God sent you here for a reason.
Yes.
And I believe, being a Christian counselor,
Mm-hmm.
that you are here today to have a clear path
Mm-hmm.
to bring your husband along with you next time,
Mm-hmm.
and create a better path
For
both of you.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So I hope you have a great day, and thank you for coming. And I'm looking forward to seeing both of you.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, and have a great day.
You too.
All right, thanks.